Welcome and thank you for dropping back on my channel. Shib Army and all my bone token holders, I got you another banging update. This one is regarding Shibarium, the bone token, and also K9 Finance. Remember guys, K9 Finance is one of our brand new partners, and trust me, you do not want to miss the update regarding this project. Shib Army, I got Lucy in the house giving you all the latest news. And by the way, we might be getting a brand new central exchange listing the bone token. But that will be at the end of the video. Now, it's Lucy giving us all the latest news regarding our brand new project. Check this out, guys. Lucy, the floor is yours. Take over.
Welcome everyone. I'm happy to see you all here. Today we have some special guests. K9 Finance will introduce their project, and we will hear from Digar also about the market, and Sand will talk about scams. I just would like to remind you that there is an ongoing claim for Shiboshis, which is free, and you shouldn't click on any links on Twitter. There is no approval when you go to the website. You just claim, no approval needed, nothing. So instead of click on any link on Twitter, just go to blog.ship.io and read the blog for the correct link so you don't get scammed. Please join by the Telegram, Discord, ask twice. Just don't click on any links on Twitter because we do not want you to see lose your shiboshis. That's what I wanna just bring up from the beginning. And back to guys. I don't know what was the plan exactly. We have our director. No one set up who will speak, but I would like to give some questions to Bas lately, and now I will let Digar speak. Hello, Digar. Can you hear me?
Hi, Lucy. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Lovely day. Very lovely past 24 hours. Well done, everyone. Good evening, Shibami. Nice to have you with us. K9, Boz, nice to have you with us. Amazing, amazing. What do I have for you? Well, we have noticed some interesting movement in the market. Everyone seems to expect things to always go up forever. However, you need to understand that the wider economy still depends on the United States Federal Reserve. So they always have to review interest rates, inflation. There's so many factors involved in the market. So every time the United States Federal Reserve make a statement, the market reacts. And this reaction is felt across all asset classes, equities, indices, commodities, and lately crypto. Why crypto? Well, simple. The same parties that participate in these other asset classes are now fully in crypto, especially Bitcoin. With the Bitcoin ETFs, it's opened up the cryptocurrency market to new participants that always have knee jerk reactions to any form of news. But what I would say is we are firmly in an uptrend in crypto. Bitcoin is slowly heading into the halving, perhaps sometime in April or May. Altcoins will follow shortly after. You've also noticed that Ethereum is also moving on the rumors of an imminent ETF, spot ETF approval. There's been quite a lot of applications, notably from BlackRock. So these are catalysts that tend to happen, and the market will be distracted by these. I call them minor pullbacks. Just stay focused. We've got quite a lot going on in the Shibarium ecosystem. We continue building, and we will never stop. If you have any other questions, just let me know. Back to you, Lucy.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for the update. Do you have the statistics about the Shiboshis, about our girls, or no?
So the Shiboshis, we you want me to talk about them?
Just a statistic, just basic. We wanna have a big party. Bas is invited if he wants to join us. We want to have it on after the reveal or during the reveal around Friday, I think. So we're gonna make like a big fast spaces and we will talk more about it. And we will know more about the price for the leash holders and everything. So we will just keep it simple, but we can
Okay,
flex some cool numbers if you have.
that's fine. That's great. So, a lovely Shiboshis, not the Shiboshis. Shiboshis are our beautiful female companions to our lovely Shiboshis. So the main thing, well, the claim for the mints for Shiboshi holders started yesterday and is going very well. So we have 24 hours left for Shiboshi holders to claim their free mints. If you need further support on anything, please join the Discord and our lovely mods will assist you. After the 24 hours is complete, our lovely leash holders will have first dig at minting the remaining Shiboshis. And whatever is left after 24 hours will be made available to the rest of the public. We have a total of 20,000 Shiboshis. So everyone will have an opportunity of getting one. Okay.
Thank
Anything
you,
else?
thank
You're
you,
welcome.
thank you. Thank you. I am very proud of our Shiboshis. Every one of them. I'm a big fan of Shiboshi. I don't know which one I'm saying now, but the Genesis collection of Shiboshis. So we are happy to welcome our girls. So I will now focus back to Canine Finance because we are today all about Canine Finance. But Sam, do you wanna say something about the scams? Okay, Bas, go ahead.
Oh, and no, I was just waving and saying hello as being here on behalf of Canine Finance and thanking you for having me, Lucy. You're the best. But Sand, you're welcome to go first if you wanted to talk about the scams.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
will actually have a questions for you. So then it's all your time. So I will let just update little about the scams. Go ahead, Stan.
So, February, at this time of the year, there's a new kind of crypto scams, and it's the romance scams. Scammers try to get closer to their victims, being super lovely, sweet, and so on, with the aim to get your crypto. Uh, Happens between January to March, most of the times. Uh, Sorry, uh, I'm a little bit nervous. I'm so sorry.
Okay,
You're killing it, Sand. Keep going.
go
You're
ahead.
doing great.
Oh, okay.
You're doing great. Keep going.
So, I'm so sorry. I'm really, really sorry.
That's
No,
okay.
Sam.
You were talking about how February is the time of the
Yes,
year
February.
where basically it's the
The
romance time, right?
yeah,
Where people
yeah,
try to get close to different people and get close to them and try to get
yeah.
access to their wallet. You were doing a really good job of explaining it.
They,
You're good.
they
Keep going.
they start to play with their victims' minds, try to develop trust and maybe something more from their victims. And over time, what they will start to do? They start saying, "Oh, I have trouble paying my phone bill, paying a rent," and will start asking for their victims to send or money or crypto. First, they will start with the crypto. If the victim have crypto and start sending, scammers love that. Will try to find another way, since they got the victim's trust, to completely clean their wallets. They will start making links or will try to lure the victims to invest into something, or doing another play with their minds. It's very it's very important for everyone to think first. Be cool. Feelings don't develop that fast, and they are if they start focusing on what you have, is already a big red flag. And another way to keep your assets protected, have a cold storage. And for that, actually, today we had great news about Tangent. They will start integrating Shibarium. A lot of people will benefit from that, myself included. I love Tangent. I love Shibarium. And all of us here for sure will have great use of that. Thank you very much for this little time. Big
Thank
hug.
you. Thank you.
Thank you, Sand. You did great.
Oh,
Nice
Yes.
thank
job,
you.
Sam. That was awesome. I mean, I think it's so
Uh,
important
some
to
days
talk
are
about
bad,
the security.
other days not not so bad. It's okay, it happens. I'm sorry again.
We are a group of Europeans, so our accent is sometimes thick, and sometimes we get too
Yeah,
lost and
scrabble
forget our
articulating
words.
words,
And
or we
exactly,
forget words. I'm sorry again.
I feel you. All right, thank you. And one more time, it's true. Social engineering is one of the biggest issues in not only in crypto but also in life, and you could get easily scammed by being actually good to people. They will use your weak points and they will try to scam you, and they will have no mercy with any of your feelings. So just remember to be careful and that not everyone online is your really friend. Not everyone is really as good as they pretend. So this is we are always very focused on security. That's why we are always alarming people and trying to bring up these things. Let's move on to K9, which is like our cup. K9 is a dog, right? Guardian dog. So Bas, can you please introduce your project?
Of course, yeah. I mean, that's such a good segue, right? Because our dog is the German Shepherd, and the German Shepherd is really the protector. And in North America, German Shepherds are often used within police forces and things like that to keep the general public safe. And that's really where we play on the branding with Canine is um, the Canine is your financial protector. It's your yield protector. And what Canine Finance is it is a liquid staking derivative platform for Shibarium. And what that means is that since Shibarium is a layer 2 proof of stake blockchain, the way that the chain is secured is through delegators. And delegators delegate their bone to a validator so that the validators have enough capital to basically ensure that all transactions and all blocks are managed effectively. And people delegate their bone to do that. And when they delegate their bone to a validator, right now, it's locked. So people get, I think right now it's about a 5% return for locking their bone. And then when they want to get their bone back, it's there's a time process that it requires to get that bone back. And where Canine comes into play is that once we launch the product, people will be able to delegate bone, which right now happens on the Ethereum network, and they'll delegate in a very similar way. But then in return, instead of locking their bone and not being able to use it, they will receive what's called a liquid staking token, which is called Canine Bone, and that token will be directly issued on Shibarium. So what that really does for Shibarium in the big picture is it unlocks an immense amount of liquidity for Shibarium. There's millions of dollars right now in Bone that are locked up on Ethereum and helping to secure the network, but it's locked. It's unusable and it's not adding to the Shibarium TVL. And Canine Finance will unlock that and allow people who are delegating their bone right now for the security of the network to start using that bone directly on Shibarium. And they could use it for anything. They can use it for buying NFTs. They can use it for on Shibaswap 2.0 when it launches to trade tokens. They can use it on Mars Swap. They can use it to stake on different dexes. And this canine bone token will be able to be used in all ecosystems on Shibarium and unlock a new level of liquidity for what's going on here, which I think is a massive leap forward for the entire community. It's immediately going to unlock a significant amount of capital. And I think that this is a tried and true model that's been used in other blockchains. So I've been building on Avalanche, Ethereum, and Solana, and there are products there that have LSDs very similar to K9. Jito is on Solana. It's a very similar product. And I was looking the other day, they actually have $900 million worth of Solana that's locked up in Jito right now and giving more liquidity to the Solana ecosystem. The comparable on Ethereum is Lido Finance. They have $22 billion worth of Ethereum locked up and unleashing DeFi value in the Ethereum ecosystem. So these are tested models, they're proven to become the layer zero of DeFi activity on these other blockchains, and it's something that our team really thinks that Shibarium was missing, and we're very, very happy to be that piece of infrastructure layer technology that is going to unlock a ton of DeFi potential on Shibarium moving forward. And very excited this week that we launched or we announced rather our token launch date, which is going to be March 7th. So just a few short weeks away when people will be able to purchase K9 tokens if they weren't able to do so in the pre-sale. And just to remind people who are maybe hearing about K9 Finance for the first time, just like other comparable products that have LSD tokens, like Lido, K9 Finance is a DAO. All the technology that we're building is going to be open source and managed by a DAO, and membership to the DAO is through the K9 token. So everyone who owns K9 tokens is part of the DAO, and all votes and proposals that are happening with changes in the technology or any changes to the light paper that we've already released are going to be governed by holders. So really encourage people to join our Telegram to learn more, and yeah, really buckle up for March 7th when we launch the token.
Thank you. That was a great introduction. I will go straight with the questions. I saw most of them. So, why haven't you launched on Shibarium?
Great question. We get this all the time. So right now, how delegation works on Shibarium is that ERC20 bone, so Ethereum native bone, is delegated to a validator, and all the validation happens on Ethereum, and that TVL is totally not represented on Shibarium. So we're launching the K9 token in a similar way because staking of K9 tokens is going to reward bone from the validator, and right now that whole process happens on Ethereum. So to mimic the same architecture of how Shibarium is built, it was important for us to also have a presence on Ethereum, which is sort of like Shib's sister chain, right? So we will be launching the token and only initially as an ERC20, which I think has been a very positive effect for a lot of people who have purchased the tokens, because we can um, draw in a lot of liquidity to the product and to Shibarium from the Ethereum network. The way that our team was actually introduced to the Shib team was through a very key advisor of ours, whose name is Meyer. He is the founder of ETH Toronto, which a lot of you probably know is where Shib was the main sponsor last year. So I have known Meyer since about 2016. He's been throwing Ethereum-based events since the dawn of time, since like 2014. He's been doing these Ethereum-based events, and we've always been friends and kept in touch. And he knew that our team was building something really cool in DeFi. And he was kind enough to introduce us to the SHIB team at ETH Toronto this past summer. And that's when we started talking about what this product could be for Shibarium. So our roots are really in the Ethereum ecosystem. And to answer the question more directly, we are launching as an ERC20 token to make sure that we're integrating directly with the Shibarium technology as it exists today. But an important distinction about our product is that it's built in a way that is going to be directly driving TVL to Shibarium, versus how a similar product like Lido would work for other layer twos like Matic. So when people are using, uh, well, I know people are calling it Polygon now, but when people use Lido Polygon and they delegate Matic to a validator, they actually receive that TVL on Ethereum. And then to use the liquid staking token of Matic, they would have to bridge it over directly to the Polygon chain. And that's a key change that we made in our product because we saw that for appropriate product market fit and the appropriate growth of the Shibarium ecosystem, we wanted to drive TVL directly to Shibarium. So when people are delegating Bone, they're going to receive Canine Bone directly on Shibarium without the need to bridge their assets over. And this is a fundamental change that we've made compared to our competitor products on other blockchains to make sure that we're building with the needs of Shibarium in mind.
Thank you. That was a great answer. Oh, I would like to ask you, why did you choose Shibarium from all the options available?
Yeah, I think that is sort of rooted in the origin story of the project too. So I've always been building on Ethereum. I've built a little bit on Solana and other chains as well, mostly EVM compatible chains, which is great that Shibarium is one. But we were building UIs on top of, or user interfaces on top of other uh, DeFi protocols, mostly in Ethereum, prior to starting building K9. And Meyer had known this. And again, Meyer is our advisor, who's the founder of ETH Toronto. And when he introduced us to the SHIB team and Shy and everyone there, he was very clear in that, hey, Shibarium is launching here at ETH Toronto. It could be really advantageous for more Ethereum builders to come build on Shibarium. And you should talk to these guys because they're building something cool that could be beneficial to Shibarium. And when that introduction occurred, I think the light bulb went off for everyone who was involved in these discussions that the way that Shibarium launched was so unique compared to other chains. So other chains that I've built on typically started with a very development heavy community, and there were developers building all sorts of products. But the big problem for these developers was that there were so many people building and so few people using products. So I remember the early Ethereum days using products like Augur, amazing technologies that were built, but nobody would use it. And that's where I got so excited about Shibarium, is that there are so many people holding Shib and Bone and Leash and all of these tokens in the space that are so eager and excited to use products that are going to launch on Shibarium. And I don't want to discredit any of the builders on Shibarium because there are amazing ones, but I saw this opportunity that there's immense potential to build more products that are commonplace on other chains, like an LSD, like a lending product, or like even perpetuals in the future. So it was really seeing this eagerness and the power of the SHIB army, and how a product here could have such great product market fit, and immediately have access to a host of new users that are going to be eager to use the product and understand how important it is for the ecosystem. Whereas if you build in another place like Solana or like ETH, one of the biggest struggles is to get your information shared and get the support of the teams on those chains and get users to your product. And we've been welcomed with such open arms here by the SHIB Army and of course Shy and Cal and yourself, Lucy, and the SHIB team to really put this product at the front and center to make sure that people are using it and people are understanding how important it can be for the ecosystem. And for new products launching, cannot be overstated how valuable that is. I think K9 is going to draw in so many users from the Shib Army, and I think everyone's really starting to understand that this is a public good sort of product that is going to benefit the entire ecosystem with enhanced liquidity.
Thank you. Oh, I like that you mentioned our community as an important part of your decision because I do love our community, Shib Army. I'm 3 years with Shib Army. I learned how many amazing people we have. So, I have a tricky questions for you now. As every new big project likes to attract users to layer 2 with the airdrop, do you plan to have some Shibarium airdrop? If yes, how will you distribute it?
Yeah, we do plan on doing an airdrop. It's not going to be very soon in our roadmap. I would think that the details for this will probably be launched towards the end of this year. And similar to what other DeFi products have done. Like I look at Uniswap, I look at GMX, I look at these other very, very successful projects that have done airdrops in the past and actually sustained value in their token. A lot of them have done what are called retroactive airdrops. And these are designed in a very purposeful manner where the people who are being rewarded with the airdrop are users. And the way that we are going to design an airdrop is going to be user driven first. They're people who will be eligible for the airdrop will be people who are bridging over to Shibarium. They're using the products. They're using our partner projects. They hold important tokens in the ecosystem like Leash, like Bone, and these other protocols. They're going to be people who are purchasing NFTs on Shibarium, and there are going to be many, many different ways that somebody can become eligible for an airdrop of K9 in the future. And over the course of the time from now, when we hit our token launch date until version 2 of our product launches in Q4, we're going to be taking data on who's using Shibarium, who's using K9, who's using the Sharby Fetch Bridge, and what their addresses are. And there will be criteria that'll be published that'll say, hey, if you're doing these actions and you're benefiting the Shibarium ecosystem, you're going to qualify for different levels of airdrops that you could get from K9. And it'll be designed in that manner because I think that one of the most important things for an airdrop is to distribute tokens into the hands of builders, into the hands of people who are benefiting the community at large. So that's going to be an important distinction. We're not going to do anything which I consider silly, like, hey, like our tweet and follow us on Twitter to qualify for an airdrop. It'll be very much so purposeful in the manner where people who are using and people who are transacting are going to be the ones who benefit the most.
Awesome answer. Thank you. That's perfect. I like about K9 that from the first moment I met you guys, you were so transparent. That's something very nice about K9 Finance and appreciate it. Who is behind the main account? Would you like to speak?
I think this is Shane on behind the main account. He is the voice of the DAO. So people will hear from Shane tomorrow on our weekly DAO updates call. He's always going to be the voice of the DAO. But Shane, if that is you and I'm right, feel free to say hello.
Yeah, it's me. What's up, everybody? Hi, thanks. How are you?
Hi, nice to meet you. So, would you like to give us some little tease about tomorrow's spaces?
Sure. Basically, every single Thursday, we host a spaces called the Canine Weekly DAO Updates, and the purpose of those spaces are to include transparently all of the members of the Canine DAO community. And again, to become part of the DAO, the only requirement is to own even one Canine token, and that means you're part of the DAO. And these weekly spaces are to give everyone a chance to be updated on everything that happened for the week, everything to look forward to for the next week, decisions that are maybe on the table for the DAO to decide on, to talk directly with the management council, to talk directly with advisors. And I think tomorrow Shane will be introducing a section in the the weekly show just called Buzz's Corner, where I'll be talking about just things that are going on in DeFi, in the Shibarium space and elsewhere, to try to attract more builders and give ideas of what we can be doing together to build more on Shibarium, and how we can all foster K9, and more specifically the liquid staking token to Bone, which is K9 Bone, to become integral within the community, and how that can be a very, very powerful and leveraged driver of more activity on the Shibarium chain. So that happens every Thursday, 3 p.m. Eastern, and everyone in our community is welcome. It's a very important part of our weekly agenda to make sure that everyone is apprised of what's going on with K9, and all of our holders are educated on what we're building. And we're really trying to make this a very transparent and meaningful environment. I think when a lot of people set up DAOs, that can be done in a rather nefarious manner, where DAOs have kind of been misused over the course of the last few years, where teams will set up a DAO and say, oh, the DAO makes all the decisions. But at the end of the day, the DAO is not really making many decisions at all, and it's really in the hands of few people. And that is not in the spirit of decentralization. I got into crypto in 2016, and a lot of the early Bitcoiners were very much so libertarians, which I really liked a lot of what they were saying about how this can be sound money, and how decentralization was going to change the way that businesses are run. So when we wanted to set up this DAO, we wanted to do it in the proper manner, where decision making is actually decentralized. But the important part of making decentralized decision making is that people need to be educated, and people need to be part of the process, and be apprised on a weekly basis on what's going on, so that decisions can be made in a thoughtful manner.
That was actually my last question to you. How will you assure that the DAO is not exploited? Because I saw few cases in DeFi where this happens. So if you have some system or plan how to secure the DAO that is not abused in any way by the whales.
Yeah, we do, for sure. So our DAO lawyer, his name is Cal Evans. He's with Gresham International, and he has a wealth of experience in setting these up. Um, if you I don't know exactly how many of his clients are public, so I was about to list off some of the major DAOs that he has set up in the past. But if you were to look at the largest DAOs in terms of market cap, I can say for certain on this spaces that he's probably set up at least 3 out of the top 10. So his guidance in that has been incredible. And he wrote our DAO charter for our community, which is listed on the footer of our website, and has transparently been shared with everyone in our community, so they can read exactly how the DAO is governed. But one important distinction in there that he chose to add in was um, the effect of a management council. So one of the first votes that'll happen among holders will be to elect a management council, who is responsible for implementing decisions that are made on behalf of the DAO. And all of these people who are elected to that management council can be removed at any time. It can be removed with a vote, or people can be added to at any time as well. So that'll be one of the first votes. So that's point number one. So there's going to be people who are transparently elected to act on behalf of the DAO and implement decisions. And point two is that we'll have another layer of protection, which is called the round table of dogs. And this is a much more passive position that will happen within the DAO. And I hope that you will be a part of this someday, Lucy. I know that we've talked about that privately behind closed doors, but nothing is official there yet. But would love to have people like yourself on there, and DigArc as well. People like yourself too. I saw that heart there, and the responsibility of the roundtable of dogs is so we're using a platform called snapshot.org. This is a DAO software that many of the top DAOs use, like Aave and even Lido Finance. So any token holder can can put forth a proposal. So a proposal might be something like, hey, we want to increase the fees from 1% to 2% so that the DAO treasury is building up more revenue. And anybody can submit that proposal, even if you hold one K9 token. And then the roundtable of dogs would review all of these proposals and decide which ones are in the best interest of token holders to actually vote on. So there might be 10 proposals, and of those, the roundtable might say, hey, 2 of these are appropriate to assemble everyone, all token holders, to vote on. And those will be the votes that will actually go to all the token holders. And this serves 2 main purposes. So the first one is voter fatigue. So it's important in a DAO that when we're getting everyone's attention to come up, become educated, and vote on a matter that is coming at hand, that they not everyone has the infinite amount of time in the world, right? So we need to make sure that important votes, and when people are giving time, they know that these are important votes. So that's one angle there, and the second is exactly what you said, and it's that the DAO doesn't get mismanaged. So we can't necessarily have every proposal go to a vote because some proposals are not in the best interests of the product. So, for example, I think one that might come up a lot is I think people might propose on day one of the token launch, like, oh, let's list on this exchange. And then I'll just use any exchange as an example. We'll call it Exchange A. But we have advisors who are going to be part of the roundtable of dogs who will be experts in that arena. So with listings, we know that we have somebody on the DAO advisory panel who will be a listings expert. And they'll be able to guide the DAO and say, okay, the best time for a listing might be when we hit these metrics, and that's when it's appropriate to allocate some of the treasury dollars to pay for something like that. Or they might say that, hey, if we hit these metrics, we actually might get organic free listings. So it might not always be in the best interest to put things like that to a vote, because of course many people are going to vote for an exchange listing, but it's important to have expertise on that round table of dogs so that when things are going to a vote, either decision would be in the best interest of the DAO, whether it's a yes or a no. And again, these people who are on the roundtable of dogs will be elected. It's not going to be in a centralized manner where people are just put on there to make sure that certain votes are going through, but they will be put there because they have certain expertise and knowledge within the industry to know which votes are important to go to the entire community.
That's a great thing that you brought up the exchanges. I am not the biggest fan of exchanges. Like I use them, the bigger one like Coinbase, Binance, and other. But I think that it needs to be everyone very careful with exchanges and don't hold too much money on it. So, what's your opinion on listing on exchanges? Is it that important when you compare it to DeFi and Shibarium Layer 2, which is no gas actually?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a huge topic, right? So, I think that for all projects, it depends on the stage that they're at. I think that exchanges can be a very, very powerful tool for marketing because, as we know, as people in the Web3 space, not everybody has a non custodial wallet. Self custody can be scary for people. And people who are coming into crypto for the first time often feel safer in using what they may deem as a trusted third party. We all may have different definitions of a trusted third party, but for example, Binance. I think for a lot of people, Binance becomes the first place that they may go to purchase crypto for the first time, or Coinbase. And having a coin on there becomes a really easy gateway to have new holders of your tokens. And people join your community where they're using a centralized platform that's very familiar to them. They can recover their password in the event of losing it, and it feels very safe to them. I'm not going to get into whether or not it is safe or not, but I think it's a fact that people are familiar with a forgot your password sort of flow, and many first time crypto users will prefer to use a centralized exchange for that purpose. But on the flip side, I think that for small projects, and when I say small projects, I mean projects who are just launching that may be launching at relatively low market caps compared to other projects who are on those exchanges. These exchanges often require them to give project tokens in order to list them. So this is what I would call an inorganic listing. So if you're giving away a lot of your tokens at a small price to these exchanges, it opens up an area of potential manipulation. So they could be selling on the other side of buyers who are coming in, and they now become a very large holder of the project where they could be suppressing the price to make revenue for themselves. So that's basically why we're bringing on people who are experts in that arena to guide the DAO on when the best time for K9 would be to list on these exchanges, because they can be an incredible marketing tool and they are a really great gateway for people to join crypto for the first time. But there are pros and cons to that. And just listing on an exchange does not necessarily mean that it's a good thing. It can be a great thing for projects, but it needs to be done at a right time and in a responsible manner to make sure that the project has hit certain milestones that are important in achieving prior to listing on those exchanges.
Exactly, I agree with you. So, of course, from the marketing point of view, there is no bigger way to attract. But my point was the safety, because I saw so many exchanges crumble in the last 2 years that I was shocked. That's why I start to focus more on the bigger exchanges and to never hold too much money on it so you don't lose them. Oh, yes, people are noobs. They don't know how to use the DeFi. I was saying, I came from Binance. I'm exactly the noob who started with Binance and feared DeFi. So later I learned how is it dangerous, but I just wanted your opinion. Uh, Pitch is great, and I fully agree with you. So, do you plan maybe list K9 right away on March 7? That would be like a big marketing move.
Yeah, I mean, I think that right away is has a different definition for everyone. If right away's definition is on March 8th, I would probably say no. I don't think that is an appropriate time, and I think that might be a little bit too early for K9, but I could certainly see the an exchange listing for K9 happening within the first few months after the token goes live. But one important distinction on decisions like that is if there is a cost to it, that would have to be paid through the treasury. It would have to go to a DAO vote. I would assume that any exchange votes that get through to the DAO are going to be a unanimous yes, because I think people in communities tend to love coins getting listed on exchanges. But that's why we have or are going to have very important advisors among the round table of dogs that have that expertise on how to properly list on an exchange and which ones are safe and appropriate targets. And I know exchanges like Bybit or Coinbase or Binance, they all have metrics that they look at for coins, and these metrics include number of token holders, number of on-chain transactions, number of users, size of community. Those are all metrics that they look at when they determine how much it's going to cost for a project to list. So I think the first thing that we're going to be focusing on as a DAO is making sure that we're growing our community, we're growing the number of holders, and that our product is in a really good place, and we have significant TVL and we have significant users before embarking on any premature exchange relationships.
Thank you. Thank you for all the answers. I'm really, really looking forward to K9 Finances. I I did deep into the press sale, and I'm proud holder, and I cannot wait for the DAO to see what will happen. So, guys, if you have any questions for Bas, because I ran out of questions,
I've got one. Sorry, Lucy. I've got a question for
no, no,
Boz.
no. I was counting with you to have one.
Oh,
You
but
always have great questions. I love it.
I know Buzz is so used to me right now. So, Buzz, this is an interesting question. You know how when we're building a very good product, We need to take our time to test it, get it audited, and all the necessary due diligence. When we start building the KN Bone LSD on Shibarium, obviously you'll be testing it on PuppyNet. Will there be an opportunity for token holders to participate in that testing process just to keep the community engaged and they're aware of what's happening? And you never know, that could also contribute to your future airdrops in terms of testing participation by the community. Thank you.
Yeah, great question. Short answer is that yes, there will be significant testing, and yes, the community can be part of that. Um, for whatever reason, the name of this service is escaping me. Shima would know. He's the developer or one of our developers on the project. I'm not sure if he's in the space, but we're going to be doing in Q2. We're going to be launching the product on PuppyNet, and we're going to be doing what's called a bug bounty program. So basically, encouraging um, anyone in the community, but more importantly, a lot of builders from other communities as well to go on and test the product and do a variety of tasks. And all bugs that are found will be basically graded on a system from 1 to 10 in terms of their severity. And all of those bugs will be have a bounty associated with them. So if you, for example, if you were to find a smart contract bug that could be detrimental to the whole system, there would be a very large bounty put on that bug if someone were to find it and report it. And this third party service, which I wish the name wasn't escaping me, is it automates all of that for us. And they have a very large community of thousands, if not tens of thousands, of developers that will be onboarded to the Canine Finance Bug Bounty Program, who will be testing the product and making sure that it is safe for people to use. And to your point, it also gives an opportunity for the community to remain engaged and the community to get an early access to the product too, and tell us what they like and what they dislike and how it can be improved. Because at the end of the day, we're building this as in a ground layer sort of public good infrastructure for Shibarium, and we want to make sure that we're building it in a manner where people are excited to use it. So that type of feedback from the community is going to be very, very important. And another thing, just on the security topic, is that we've already gotten 2 audits done by SourceHat, which were announced today. Both were successful audits on our vesting contracts and our token contract, and we'll be using at least one, if not 2, auditors to be auditing the full Canine Finance product during that same testing phase in Q2 to make sure that whenever we go live on mainnet, this has been audited by reputable third parties who are publicly and transparently announcing audit reports alongside the bug bounty program, because this is not just another token that's launching. It's not just another NFT that's launching. This is infrastructure that the entire community is going to be using. And there is an immense amount of responsibility to make sure that it's safe and to make sure that when partner projects are implementing this type of technology, that their users and ours are all going to be safe, and that the entire SHIB army can be safe. And to Sand's point earlier, that's why I love that security is so paramount within our community. We want to make sure that everyone is safe and everybody is looked after.
Thanks, boss. That's a very comprehensive response. I'm really excited. I love testing projects prior to mainnet launch. I'm really looking forward to it. Thanks.
Sam, do you have some questions for Bas? I don't know if you fall asleep. Sam, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm with us. About questions. Basically, Buzz was great explaining everything, and I'm very happy to be part of this with everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, guys, I think we are here 15 minutes. which is amazing. But I really enjoy the way you can speak about things, and it's so lovely to listen to you. I'm looking forward to K9 Finance, and if you would like to say something in the end.
Sure. Yeah, I definitely encourage anybody who's listening, if they've liked what they heard, to give the Canine Finance account a follow. So the account is in here as a speaker. In the bio of the Canine Finance Twitter account, you will find the link tree to Canine, where you'll be able to find our Telegram community. That link will take you to the global English language community. And in there, if you are a speaker of any different languages, we do have a Turkish community, a Persian community, Japanese, Chinese, and Indonesian. I don't think I'm forgetting any right now, but it's very important that we're growing the DAO to be global as well, so everybody can get the information that they require in something that they understand. So our light paper has been translated to all of these languages as well, and I would just encourage everyone here to join the community. I do see that there is a request from somebody to speak. Lucy, I'm not.
If I can but ask you, I'm sorry, I really need
Oh
to
yeah,
finish this basis. I'm sure everyone can go to your Telegram and ask there the question. Also, they can ask in Shibarium Telegram. After the launch of the token, we will see definitely even more of Kainan and Shibarium spaces and maybe even some AMA in Telegram. I would love to have you on Discord, but I know that you don't like Discord, so won't push for that. And I'm looking forward to your spaces. Bass Connor, that sounds cool.
yeah. I mean, I think that Discord might become a necessary evil soon. I mean, I know that that you. I hate Discord. I mean, I'm very very good at using Telegram, but I find it very difficult to use both platforms at once and make sure that I'm answering people in a polite manner and in a timely manner. But I think that we could probably get something set up where I can do some AMAs there, but ultimately, just like our channel and the official Shib Discord, it'll likely just be an AMA, and then come to Telegram if you want to chat with our team, because we're very focused on building one channel as strong as we can prior to diversifying that.
I mean, we are on Discord, very small group. We are not big group, but we are kind of acting like a family because we are very kind to each other, and it's like really smaller cycle. So you are always invited. Sorry guys, I really need to go. I have some personal things to do here. Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you, boss. I will soon be in your spaces. Looking forward to it. And put your notification on. Be on Discord. We will announce some party of reveal with Shiboshis. Shiboshis? Oh man, I don't know. Shiboshis, Shiboshis. For
Oh,
real,
those will
Shiboshis,
be
Shiboshis.
fun. Those will be super fun.
Yeah, it's a girls and boys. It's my boys and girls. It's my puppies. Uh, uh,
Everyone loves girls, and girls will start singing "Boys, boys, boys." Na, 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 na.
we will
Inviting
looking
the girls,
forward.
girls, girls.
We will looking forward to all the fun we will have. I'm sure it will go fine now. The devs are working on everything. They don't even sleep last 48 hours. So I'm letting them today rest. I'm not sending any requests and questions, but Friday we will see and know more about the minting for leash holders and public minting. You can go to OpenSea, and if you wanna purchase your girl Shiboshi, you can do it. I did also additional some because I don't want my puppies to be lonely. I'm going to keep them as a couples. So I purchased some, so you can go ahead and purchase if you want to. That's all I'm going to say about Shiboshi. Looking forward to weekend with you guys. Enjoy your day and thank you, K9 Finance, for great spaces. But it's always pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you so much for having me, and always a pleasure, Lucy. Thank you, Sand. Thank you, Dijark. I always love your questions, and yeah, we should definitely do more of these. I know Lucy and you and I were talking offline about potentially doing something more, but I think the next thing for people to look forward to is maybe a potential mega space that'll happen just prior to our TGE, which is March 7th, and I think there'll be a pretty big special guests that many of you have probably never heard from. If you want to put the pieces together of someone who might attend that no one has really heard from and is very big within the community. So I'll just put that out there that could be a potential option.
That sounds very shy style, teasing.
I didn't say it, you said it.
Actually, Shai is now in my DMs and he just delivered me such a great news. I'm so happy. I cannot wait for you guys to tell you this news for people who had an issue with some minting. I'm not gonna reveal more. Okay, see you on Discord. I will let
See
you
ya.
know.
Thanks, everyone. Have a
Have a
great
good
day
day.
or an evening, depending on your time zone.
Evening, then.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Lucy, for the spaces.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Good
Bye.
night.
Good night.